Hi Wildings, welcome back to the Wilding Tarot YouTube channel, where we do intuitive tarot card readings on everything to do with the Lovers card. So specifically using our soul contracts and soul partnerships as sources of growth, especially our spiritual development into more conscious beings and more aligned with unconditional love. So that's what we do here. Welcome if you're new, welcome back if you are a little wilding already. But yeah, let's get into today's video pretty quickly. I'll do a full explainer of what we're going to do today in a few seconds. But for now, we're just going to enjoy the vibes of me setting up our beautiful space and get ready to hear some channeled messages from your person, no matter what situation you're in, regarding the topic of today, which I will reveal to you in a moment. It looks like we're just about ready to start, so I won't keep you on the edge of your seat wanting to know what we're doing for a second longer. Okay Wildings, let's get into today's video. As you can probably tell, we're going to be asking Spirit for channeled messages regarding what your person is saying about you to their friends or to like people in their life in general. Like, what commentary are they making about you that you might not be aware about? So we're gonna find out from Spirit what channeled messages we have for you today regarding any conversations that are kind of going on behind your back, I would say. I am very excited that this is what Spirit asked me to channel today, because I'm also very curious to see what could come out. But whenever you're ready, going ahead and choosing pile 1, 2, or 3 to get your channeled messages, remembering that I do leave a brief description of each reading at the very bottom of the description box. If you find yourself not being super connected to your intuition today for some reason, or you're like trying to avoid triggers, or you just want to get down to business and get your messages ASAP, I usually leave a few extra buzzwords for you there to help choose a pile. But for everyone else, just choosing a pile based on your intuition, being mindful that you might be drawn to more than one pile because your messages might be a combination of situations, or you might just have maybe varying messages from your person to their people. So yeah, just honoring wherever you intuitively know that you're supposed to be, and wherever you end up at either pile 1, 2, or 3, I will see you there. Hey there pile 1, welcome to your reading for what your person might be saying behind your back to people in their life. So if you chose this beautiful rose quartz crystal, then this reading is probably for you, but just remembering to bring your own intuition and discernment to every general reading, as there will always be some parts of the reading where you kind of vary from the collective energy a little bit. But don't worry, because practicing using your intuition and discernment during general readings is actually like a huge gift, and strengthens you as an intuitive being, which is, you know, that's the dream. But let's go ahead and get some themes for today's reading using our astrology deck. We get some themes for what pile 1's person is saying about them, please. Anything else about what pile 1's person is saying about them, please? Anything else about what pile 1's person is saying about them, please? Thank you. Okay, so pile 1, we have a fair few messages. Okay, pile 1, what your person is probably saying to people around them is that you mature them a lot. So Saturn has a lot to do with honoring your own truth, your responsibilities. It can be also like binding and constriction. So sometimes it refers to trauma as well. So I would say that your person to their people is probably describing you as having matured them, maybe having helped them like either know or address some of their kind of traumas, especially coming out with this fourth house of the home energy, because this fourth house energy rules the like our family of origin, our roots, and where we come from. And a lot of the time that's where a lot of our trauma comes from. So I would say that these two cards coming out together has definitely revealed a lot to indicates that your person is talking about how much you've revealed to them through some sort of like mirroring, I would say, especially with this moon card of the soul coming out as well, because this often has a lot to do with the unconscious mind and things that aren't immediately apparent to us. So this whole row to me is saying that your person is definitely describing you as having matured them, having revealed a lot of their wounds, and having made a lot of the unconscious things that they're kind of carrying around in life visible to them through what you've been able to mirror to them so far on whatever kind of journey of connection that you're on with this person. This person definitely sees you as like a place for expansion for themselves. Jupiter is an expansive planet. It's a planet of good fortune and like luck and just like general like kind of best self kind of energy. It rules the ninth house of like personal development, so it's heavy about bringing about your own expansion. And so yeah, your person definitely sees you as having expanded them, especially spiritually a lot, but potentially also like in other ways, like maybe their lifestyle's better, their finances are better, or like they're just on a deeper kind of learning and healing journey. It's very likely that they see you as their end game, just with this soul and destiny card coming out. Usually, actually all three of these energies, because the third house is ruled by Gemini, which also rules the Lovers card in the tarot. So it's very likely that your person is telling their people that you're the one for them. They see you as their end game. They see you as their soulmate. They see you as their destiny. And they're probably also telling people that they want to connect with you and communicate maybe some sort of like deeper sentiments to you than what they have previously, no matter kind of what situation you're in. This person definitely wants to communicate deeper messages to you, because this third house energy, this is all about communication and like Gemini kind of Mercury communication energy. It does have to do with early learning as well. So potentially your person feels like they're in like an early stage of learning with this connection still. Like potentially they see that there's room to go deeper, there's room to expand more. And that's maybe why they see you as their destiny as well, because they know how much you've opened them up already, and they can feel that there's so much more potential for you to open them up further. So yeah, I would say your person is definitely expressing to the people around them how, yeah, just like how much you've changed their life. I'm getting like super life-changing energy from you for this person. Like they definitely feel like you've changed a lot for them, especially in regards to I would say like their perspective on a lot of things. And definitely maturing them as well, and probably helping them find their path in life. Like I'm sensing that maybe they weren't super clear on what their path was in life, but now they feel a lot more certain, which is all about this like Saturn return energy as well. Often it really aligns us with our path. But let's get a bit more specific using this traditional tarot. Spirit, can we please have more messages for pile one in regards to what their person is saying to the people in their life about this connection? Can you please have more for pile one, please? Can you please have more for pile 1? Please have more for pile 1, please. Can you please clarify this Four of Cups energy? What is it that wants to come out, please? Any clarifications for the Four of Cups? Any clarifications for that? Yep, that was quick. And any clarifications for this Queen of Cups energy, please? What's up, Virgo rising energy? Pile 1, this person is being so tactful. Like this person is like not leaving, like, okay, so they're letting go and letting God a lot, but they're also just like very patiently waiting for the right opportunity. Very clearly, it seems like they're telling their friends that they want to like pursue things with you, either getting another chance if you guys have been in connection already, or just starting something up with you if you haven't. That's definitely what they want, but they're not going to act on that inspiration alone with this Ace of Wands coming out in reverse. What they're doing is they're kind of waiting for things to turn in their favor and kind of following opportunities. So this Two of Pentacles, this is Jupiter and Capricorn energy, and this is about essentially being very cunning and waiting until an opportunity presents itself and taking full advantage of that. So yeah, I would say that this person kind of like has been planning something, but in terms of timing, they're leaving that unplanned. So I would say they've got a lot of kind of Capricornish structure or rough ideas in mind, but they're waiting until an opportunity presents itself to act. They're not acting on inspiration alone. And this Six of Swords energy, this is Mercury and Aquarius energy, and this is all about following the head over the heart. And so yeah, they're not acting from the heart. They're not acting from just like pure impulses or whatever alone, which I think is fine. Like, we have to have a balance of working from different energies, and it seems like this person thinks that this connection is so important that they do want to be just like so intentional, so mindful, and yeah, they're definitely not being impulsive at all. But that said, they do believe that there's some sort of kind of divine protection and divine kind of plan for the two of you by the looks of it, especially with kind of all this soulmate energy that came out. This Seven of Wands, this is a Mars in Leo energy, and it's traditionally about choosing your battles wisely and being able to rely on divine protection to get you through. So yeah, I think this coming out in reverse is they don't actually think that this is going to be a battle per se. Like, I think they know that things are going to kind of come together, and they're definitely trusting in that, especially clarified by this Four of Cups energy. which is a Jupiter and Libra energy. And Jupiter's obviously a very abundant placement, and Libra's a partnership energy. And it's a lot to do with like trust, being in harmony, and yeah, like kind of surrender, and just like trusting that you're going to be so fulfilled. Like this person is so trusting of all the good things that are coming. So yeah, I would say that they're not looking at this connection with much kind of ego, I would say. Like they're kind of looking at it with a lot of trust that things are going to come into fruition, and they're just kind of waiting for an opening, kind of waiting for a sign from spirit to move forward, essentially, by the looks of things. Because this Six of Swords is a heavy transition, like movement forward kind of energy as well. So yeah, they're definitely waiting for that opportunity to present itself. But this Hanged One coming out in reverse definitely tells me that it's kind of like a let go and let God situation. They're definitely not being overly attached to when things happen, for sure. But they just trust that it's going to come into fruition, especially with this Moon and Judgment card. Like as I was saying before, with this Moon energy coming out twice, like obviously you've revealed a lot to them in terms of like their unconscious energies and like anything that's been holding them back in life and things that they need to kind of heal and clear. And they definitely see that the potential for that in this connection. And I think that's one of the main reasons why they kind of trust that everything's going to fall into place, because like they just know the transformational power of this connection. This card can also have to do with like very fiery, passionate, like sex lives and connection physically. So like all of this sort of stuff that's been revealed to them about this connection just makes them trust so much that it's all gonna like come into fruition eventually. Like they're not stressed. And I would say that they're telling people around them that the two of you are meant to end up together. They're not stressed. They know it'll happen when the time's right. Some other things that I think they're potentially telling people is like I would say that they're sharing a lot of the ways that they've changed and grown, especially anything that's come to light from their unconscious. I would say they're not sharing heaps though. Like I think they are keeping some of it to themselves. But something that they're sharing about the struggles that you potentially go through is some anxious attachment stuff. When the Queen of Cups comes out upside down, like often she refers to a little bit of anxious attachment energy, especially about kind of like not trusting in divine plans, not trusting the self, not trusting being alone, having some fear of abandonment, and also like sometimes trying to manipulate situations to get your needs met. So yeah, I think this person tells the people in their life that you have some learning to do when it comes to this sort of stuff. They're saying that they also have some transformation to go through in this connection as well. But I think in regards to their own stuff, they're a little bit more vague. But it does seem like they're very kind of forthcoming about what they know your issues are when it comes to anxious attachment stuff. And I am hearing that it might be a little bit of like defense for you, like whenever their friends or family or whatever kind of get on their back about you being a little bit like either clingy or obsessive or, you know, whatever it is that makes their friends or family like kind of doubt you in any way. Like your person's definitely bringing it back to like, I would say non-judgment in a way, like being very clear about the fact that you also have stuff that you're working through and that you're working through a lot of that in this connection as well. So yeah, and just kind of like giving you a bit of a break, I would say. They're like trying to give you a bit of grace. Okay, so they're definitely envisioning a union, getting married, experiencing eternal love. They know that you guys have a soul connection. They know that you have a soul contract. yeah, this judgment energy often refers to soul contracts as well, because essentially this energy of judgment, this energy of Pluto transformation, consume what is not love, and destroy what is not love, and kind of raise your vibration energy. This is heavy soul contract energy. Like soulmates often go through this kind of transformation. So yeah, that's definitely something that they're thinking about, probably communicating. They're definitely telling people that they want to marry you, but they're also deeply hurt. I'm sensing for many of you, you've been in connection with this person before and separated, and for anyone who hasn't been in connection with your person previously, this is about their past connection where they ended up very deeply hurt, feeling lost, and yeah, it was whoever their last heartbreak was, whether it was you or someone else, it really, really hurt them. And so yeah, I think this is part of this divine timing thing. Like they know they've got some stuff to shift before they're ready to kind of take things to the next level. But yeah, this is just another confirmation of you guys being soulmates. This is heavy soulmates energy for sure. Yeah, but as I've been saying, like this whole time, you guys heavily mirror each other, and at times that is challenging as hell. It's like a real judgment day kind of energy with the two of you, because you are such perfect mirrors for each other, and you do cause each other to reflect on your own wounds and to introspect and like look at your relationships differently and use your relationships to evolve spiritually a lot. So yeah, this person's probably telling others how well you mirror each other, and I would say your person's also kind of saying that the darkness that the two of you experience is all part of the divine plan, especially if that darkness relates to each other having a previous connection that their people might be worried about. I would say that they're probably communicating to those people that the darkness was all part of the plan. It was all part of this kind of like judgment transformation energy, and it was intentional for you guys to go into separation as a form of divine protection. And for anyone whose person hasn't been in connection with them before and this heartbreak is about another connection, I would say that your person's probably telling people that they're protecting the two of you by not rushing into this connection, because they know that they've got their own demons to fight before they're ready to like fully engage in this connection, which I guess could be relevant if you were in connection previously to like your person wanting to protect you by making sure that enough of the darkness is cleared before you guys re-engage. But yeah, the two of you are really blossoming. You're coming into your sovereignty as like higher consciousness beings for sure. Yeah, there just still seems to be some fears to work through with this heartbreak energy, but know that prosperity lies ahead and a new romantic cycle is also likely to begin, probably not too distantly, I would say. But let's get a affirmation for you. Okay, so ooh, you got 3. Pile 1, what affirmations Spirit has for you right now while you're dealing with all of this energy is: I'm filled with creative energy and I'm ready to manifest. I'm in full control and I have the power to attract all that I desire. And my life is filled with serenity. I exist in harmony. I am at peace. So yeah, if there's any kind of things that you feel inspired to manifest when it comes to this connection, whether that's healing, reunion, just like more love or whatever it is, now's a good time to be practicing those manifestations, but making sure that you're always prioritizing your own peace. This is the most important in terms of like, you can manifest whatever you want, but don't betray your peace by focusing on things that aren't serving you right now. But I think I'm going to leave that there, pile 1. I think that's enough to kind of sit with for now. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it entertained you at the very least. My name is Jade Wilding, and it has been a pleasure reading for you today, and I would love it if you could like, comment and subscribe to see me on your feed again very, very soon for another intuitive tarot card reading. But until then, ciao. Hey there, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose this beautiful crystal, then this reading is probably for you. But as always, taking what resonates, leaving what doesn't, and meditating on the rest. Yeah, bringing your own intuition and discernment is the most important part of getting a general reading. But let's go ahead and first get some general energies for you, pile 2, when it comes to what your person is saying to other people about you. We have messages for pile 2 in regards to what they're sharing to other people, sorry. Do you have anything else about what pile 2's person is sharing? Anything else about what pile 2's person is sharing? Pile 2, it's likely that your person is sharing that they find you quite provoking. This Grand Cross in astrology is obviously associated with kind of like drawing stuff out and like usually experiencing some challenges when it comes to that. So yeah, it seems like your person feels like you're kind of eliciting a lot from them, probably a lot to do with personal development, spiritual development, maybe higher learning, maybe travel, maybe just like expanding in general. Jupiter rules this 9th house, and so it's heavy kind of like expansion energy. Also Saturn energy is about coming home to your truth, maturing, and like more diligently following your life purpose, whatever it was that you intended to do on earth, like really honoring that and following through. So it seems like those 2 are the main energies that your person finds quite provoking, I would say, in a positive way. I'm sensing from these energies that maybe these are more of the challenges I'm sensing. So I think your person might potentially struggle with communication and communicating in a healthy way. But this 3rd house is all about communication. It's correlated with Gemini Lovers energy. It's associated with the Lovers card in the tarot. And communication is really important because you have 2 people with 2 different worlds that need to be able to understand each other's worlds on some level in order to like love each other and engage with each other. And potentially that's what your person's found challenging in the past, or in the past of this connection. If you guys have had another like go at this, they do find the communication quite challenging. They understand the purpose of it and they want to get better at it, but yeah, they definitely are finding the depth of communication that's being asked of them much more challenging. I think they're also being challenged in terms of this Taurus 2nd house energy. So Taurus rules the 2nd house of like value, possessions, owning. A lot of the time it has to do with financial security, but it's also about just like what you value in life and like kind of pursuing what you really want, what you really value. So I'm sensing they're being challenged in this area for sure. And then the 8th house corresponds with the Death card, and it also corresponds with Scorpio energy, which is heavy transformation energy. It often has a lot to do with like kind of Pluto transforming energy and Mars transforming energy. Mars is more of that kind of like passion and drive kind of energy, and then Pluto is obviously more of that kind of spiritual woo-woo development. So this house has a lot to do with sex, metaphysics, mysticism, and things being hidden. Also about cycles, especially about ending patterns that are no longer serving you and adopting new patterns in life. So yeah, I'd say that this is something that your person's finding kind of challenging. And yeah, your person's probably sharing these challenges a lot, I'm sensing, from this person. They might not necessarily be sharing these two as much, I'm getting, for some reason. But let's get more specific using this traditional tarot to find out maybe a few more details about what's going on here. Ooh. We have more messages for pile 2 in regards to what their person is sharing about them. Anything else about what pile 2's person is sharing about them, please? Can you clarify this? Also clarify this Hermit energy, please. Pile 2, when the World and Four of Wands cards come out, often they indicate long-term marriage or long-term commitment of some kind. And so it seems like your person is probably telling people that they want to marry you. However, because the World and the Hermit card came out upside down at the end, sometimes the World card coming out upside down, because it's so heavily correlated with Capricorn Devil energy, can be about getting stuck in material things and not necessarily being open to kind of closing some of the lessons that they're learning in a more spiritual sense, especially clarified by the Hermit card. The Hermit card, because it's heavy Virgo energy, when it comes out in reverse, can be being overly critical and being overly like isolating due to mistrust of the self or others, and so an inability to move forward based on their own mistrusts. Now, I don't think they're communicating this to people. I think they're heavily communicating this Four of Wands, I want to marry them energy. But I think this person is definitely way too wrapped up with kind of some of their shortcomings when it comes to their perceptions of where they're falling short in connection, especially, as I was saying before, with this Taurus energy coming out. I think a lot of their fears have to do with themselves as a provider, as a person who has the ability to like earn well and share generously with others, especially with these two energies coming out. So this Six of Pentacles is also a generosity card. It's a moon in Taurus energy, so we have double Taurus energy here, and it is about giving, it is about generosity. It's also about like giving within the confines of your own ability and resources, and kind of like doing the work and like trusting things to kind of like build up sequentially. But clarified by the Seven of Cups, this often indicates like illusions or not clear thinking when it comes out in reverse, because this is a Venus in Scorpio energy, and so yeah, I would say that this person definitely is misperceiving their ability to be a good provider at the moment. Like they're very wrapped up in what materially they have to offer, and they're kind of making that the be all and end all, instead of kind of being willing to move forward and start a really beautiful chapter with this connection, because the world, when it comes out upright, it's the last card of the major arcana. It corresponds with Saturn energy, and it's about finding your truth, finding your kind of place, integrating a lot of lessons, especially spiritual lessons, to move forward to kind of the next chapter. And so this coming out in reverse, it seems to me like this person is not willing to move forward with the next chapter and willing to connect with you on a deep level, particularly because of their own perceived shortcomings when it comes to finances. And I think this might be why this 8th house of endings and beginnings card came out as well, because it seems like they're not willing to close the whatever the past of this connection is, whether you've just been like friends or whether you've been in connection in the past or whatever it is, and begin the new cycle just yet. And so I would say that your person is communicating that they're not ready to people, but I don't think your person's communicating why they're not ready, because I think this coming out this way is telling me that they potentially don't know that their obsession with what they can provide is it's kind of not healthy. It's not coming from the healthiest place overall. Like obviously there is a element of it that's like obviously coming from this place of inspiration of like wanting to be a provider, but there's this other element of it that's coming from the shadow that your person's not aware of yet. But hopefully they will become aware. We'll see what the rest of the cards say. I would say based on what they're probably telling their people more though is this side of the deck. Like I would say that they feel very humbled by you and are communicating to others that you've definitely humbled them. I would probably say with this card coming out in reverse though, the Strength card often refers to kind of like fighting your own inner animal and like letting the kind of 3D animal self coexist with the 5D like higher self, in a way where the 5D higher self is like in control and not and the 3D self isn't like running rampant and like doing a lot of damage. So I would say with this coming out in reverse that your person's definitely communicating that they know their ego is still like heavily at play. They definitely have been humbled, but they're kind of like still in the process of doing the work of like managing this, like transforming into this next process of like letting the higher self take the wheel. Like the 3D self for them is still heavily taking the wheel. And so yeah, they're probably communicating some sort of not readiness to people. They are probably also communicating though some sort of like feeling much more emotionally available, being much more willing to communicate even though they know it's very difficult for them. So this Four of Cups energy, this is a moon in Cancer energy, so it's about being able to nurture the self and others. And I would say with this coming out with the King of Cups upright is that your person's much more emotionally available in terms of being able to nurture the self and others more equally. But I would say that they're still kind of slightly, with this card coming out in reverse, they still kind of are slightly in that like serving the self first before they're serving others. So yeah, they're on their way, but the work is not done yet. I think as well with this Four of Cups coming out in reverse, obviously it asks us to have more realistic expectations, and so potentially your person may need to become a bit more grounded when it comes to what they can realistically expect from themselves in a lot of ways, but especially emotionally, and especially to do with communication. I think they're not the best at it, but they're definitely holding themselves to a higher standard than what's realistic based on their position in terms of their growth. So yeah, I think they need a little bit more self-kindness still when it comes to realism. But let's get some more messages about what your person's potentially communicating to others about you. Okay, so it seems like your person's definitely reminiscing about this connection to others, definitely communicating some things to their people about the past of this connection, whatever that may be, whether you guys have been connected before or you have some sort of like friendship or whatever, like however you've known each other. They're definitely like reminiscing on all of that. Yeah, and I would say for a fair few of you, you've probably been this person's friend in the past, and so they're definitely communicating to others like kind of what a good friend you are and how well you can be there for them in a friend way, not only romantically. But yeah, they definitely see you as very secure and stable, and also like kind of challenging them to grow a lot. They do feel a lot of unconditional love, and a lot of desire to give and receive affection much more openly, and yeah, just like being more willing to give and receive, I would say equally as well. Potentially they've been more concerned with getting than giving in the past, and they're definitely wanting to change that. But yeah, I think there's a lot of ways that this could go down, and I think your person's acknowledged that as well, because they're still in the midst of a lot of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot that they need to release and kind of let go of and accept, and like do the work without so much judgment. Like I think there's just this kind of like judgment and pressure from their end on a lot of the things that they're trying to do. Yeah, it's definitely still a time for healing for them. Believe in the impossible, balance spirituality and practicality. So yeah, I think these are all super relevant to what we were just talking about. Yeah, there's definitely, I think for this person, they definitely feel very complicated in terms of their own healing. There's definitely some stuff that they need to like not give themselves such a hard time on, especially to do with all this material kind of finance stuff. But then there's also some healing that they need to do in regards to kind of why that material stuff has come up for them, like in terms of their own kind of inner animal and things like that. Like that definitely needs healing, and they're just like kind of focused on the wrong things right now. But I am sure it is all part of the path. And yeah, I think they're just like overly focused on the practical manifested aspects of things, and they're kind of forgetting the spiritual aspect. But with this ninth house energy coming out, I would say that they'll be reminded. There'll be some sort of intervention that will remind them in the very near future. That yeah, there's also like an underlying spiritual or emotional reason for what they're going through and what they're focusing on, so that they can like readjust essentially. But let's see if we can get a affirmation for you, Pile, to finish off. Can we have an affirmation for Pile 2, please? Okay, so we had a few that wanted to come out. The first one is, I see all circumstances as a gift that allow me to grow. I allow myself to let go and let the universe guide me, and I am fearless in the pursuit of what I desire. Yeah, I think there's a lot of circumstances at play right now that are challenging in this connection. It's definitely important that you see their potential for you to grow, for them to grow, and like try not to judge it too much. Definitely, yeah, let go in terms of like attachment to outcome and like attachment to things kind of panning out the way that you want it to. The universe probably has a higher plan that you can align with that will make you feel a lot better. And yeah, just drop any of those like fears that are coming up, which is probably to do with your healing, and know that like you absolutely have the power to manifest your desires and to work towards them. And yeah, just like embrace that. But I think I'm going to leave that there, pile 2. I hope you got everything out of this reading that you really needed. I hope it entertained you at the very least. But my name is Jade Wilding. It has been a pleasure reading for you. And until we see each other again, ciao. Hey there, pile 3. Welcome to your reading for what your person might be saying to others about you. So if you chose this beautiful crystal, then this reading is probably for you. But as always, taking what resonates, leaving what doesn't, and meditating on the rest, because this is a general reading and there will be parts of this reading where your energy will slightly differ from the collective. So you will need to use your own intuition and discernment. But let's go ahead and get some general energies for our reading today. So pile 3, if you or your person has any Sagittarius or Aquarius energy in your chart, wherever those particular placements may be, it might be an area that your person is describing you as being like exceptionally attractive as. Like, say for example, you're a Sagittarius moon, they might find that like your emotional world is very curious and ready to be expanded, like very attractive, just for example. But yeah, or if they have either of these placements anywhere, that particular part of them might be attracted to a certain part of you, and that may be what they're communicating to people around them. They're probably communicating something about like respecting your maturity and honesty, potentially about respecting the healing that you've done and the path that you're on in life. It seems like you kind of know what you're here to do and you're definitely doing it. And there may be this kind of like air of like confidence and like assuredness about you that your person finds really attractive. But it's likely that they also find you quite kind of elusive and mystical at the same time, especially with this Pluto and Aquarius energy. Both of these energies can be very elusive, and this Chiron and Pluto energy together in particular probably indicates you coming off as very kind of like evolved, I would say, and your person definitely finds that very attractive. They can tell that you've done a lot of like work on yourself. And yeah, they appreciate kind of how evolved you are, for sure. But let's get a little bit more specific about what they might be telling people about you using this traditional tarot. That cord you can see, by the way, is me charging my phone as I'm recording this because I ran out of juice while I was recording. Could we get any messages for pile 3 in regards to what the person is saying about them? Can we clarify this moon energy, please? And this Seven of Cups energy, please. And this Ten of Wands energy, please. Pile 3, it's likely that your person is talking about probably some sort of addiction. I'm sensing maybe alcoholism, drug addiction, or just like addiction to some sort of toxicity, some sort of unhealthy habit that they have. Might be too much scrolling on social media, given that Aquarius rules the 11th house of community connections, social media and things like that. And or it may have something to do with like work, given that Saturn rules the 10th house. They might be a bit of a workaholic, or they might have some sort of victim mentality when it comes to personal development, or like they might be prone to like martyrdom. Like any of those situations could apply, but a lot of these energies heavily indicate someone with kind of clouded vision, and someone who is potentially dealing with some sort of addiction that in their eyes it seems they makes them not worthy of being in a connection with you, given that they obviously see you as fairly healed based on all these energies that came out initially. Like they kind of see you as doing your thing and like you being a lot further along in this journey than they are. And they kind of see themselves as dead weight by the looks of it. And so they're definitely talking about a lot of these struggles with the people in their lives. They may, a lot of these addictions or challenges may have to do with relationship for this person. This Three of Wands is a Sun in Aries energy. And it encourages us to give and receive equally in connection. But coming out with the Moon in reverse, like I'm sensing that this person probably has some stuff locked away in their subconscious about connections that were not equal in some way or another. Either they overgive or like can't accept kind of equal love, or they just like don't have any kind of understanding of what equal love actually is. And it seems like whatever their addiction is that they're fighting, a lot of that has to do with like their relationships being unfulfilling in the past, especially when they were really young. And yeah, just like them needing to cope and choosing a kind of unhealthy way to cope with things that potentially could be healthier. So yeah, they've definitely struggled when it comes to relationship, and relationship is a big reason why this person struggles so much. And this Seven of Cups energy, usually because it's a Venus in Scorpio energy, it really asks us to gain clarity and to turn away from any addiction that we may have. It encourages us to detox, experience and try and experience sobriety and or a clean mind and fresh perspective, to eliminate any kind of blurriness of vision. And this person's definitely like blurred. They are definitely not seeing things clearly right now because they're in the throes of whatever this kind of coping mechanism is. And they're trying to kind of get sober for whatever it is that they're like coping with. They're trying to find a healthier way of coping, because essentially what all of this has led to is this Ten of Pentacles. This is Mercury and Virgo energy in reverse. This is Mercury and Virgo energy, and it's kind of like the peak energy when it comes to doing the work and having the greatest of life manifest. It seems like your person potentially hasn't been able to kind of fulfill their desires and duties in this life, and definitely hasn't been able to create the relationship and family that they would want based on all this trauma that they're carrying around with them. Like, I just don't see them as ready to have a family right now while they're still kind of like processing and trying to find better ways to cope with their childhood. And definitely something like this is definitely something that makes them feel either inferior or kind of just like not on your level, just based on how they're perceiving you, have like based on all this energy, like they see you as having done a lot of this work that they're potentially like really struggling to do. This 10 of Swords energy, this is Sun in Gemini, and it really encourages us when it's the right way up to try and begin again using a whole new paradigm. And this is essentially what your person wants. They want to be able to start a family and like work and play and like all that sort of stuff under a new paradigm, because they understand that this paradigm that they've been operating under is not serving them and is not working for them. And I think that they want this to happen with you, but there's kind of this a little bit of like wanting you to save them energy I'm getting from this High Priestess in reverse. Like, I don't think they're seeing you as kind of like not someone to kind of use in a way, because their trauma is like kind of making them see things a little bit distortedly. They're not seeing that they're the person that ultimately needs to come to their own rescue. Like, you can't do it for them. And so that's definitely something they're struggling with too, and potentially communicating with others. I would say it's very likely that this person, if they're not in therapy, they should be in therapy. But yeah, it seems like this person has a lot to learn still, and they're in the process of trying to learn their lessons, and in the process of kind of like reaching out to the people that can help them, because this 10 of Wands is also asking us to kind of close any old patterns that continue to burn us, and use a very powerful like attitude of determination to move us forward. It's a Saturn in Sagittarius energy, which are these two energies here coincidentally. But yes, this energy is like, given that this is the kind of like personal development energy and this is the kind of doing the work energy, yeah, this person's like doing their best to kind of do their work. I think they're still kind of like learning what that is though. This Page of Pentacles is a very youthful energy, often indicating like undertaking studies and like kind of like manifesting a new path for yourself in a different direction, but it is a very new energy. So I would say that they're still a little bit naive when it comes to really knowing what to do, but yeah, they're like doing their best to like at least try to like start somewhere. I would say that probably the place that this person's likely to start is trying to be sober from whatever their addiction is, whether it's like work or alcohol or whatever. But yeah, they're potentially not showing you their hands just yet because they definitely need more time. They know they need time to heal and they don't want to drag you into their mess, for sure. And yeah, they're updating like outdated thinking and stuff from their childhood. Seems like they do envision this future with you though. I think once they kind of clear this like almost wanting you to save them energy and start to save themselves, they will start to become more of a match for your energy, and they will be able to be that like everlasting promise kind of energy for you. But yeah, right now they're fighting their demons and this is going to be tough work, and this is definitely not something that's going to heal overnight. This is someone who's really in the middle of stuff right now, and yeah, who's just really not ready. And I think the two of you both need to have some faith in each other in order to do this work. Obviously your future is totally yours to do with what you want, but if this connection is what you want, have faith in the process and let it happen the way that it's supposed to happen. Because yeah, if you do want this connection for this like wedding energy, it's important that you two find your inner peace first alone before you guys reconnect, so that you guys can experience the beautiful life that is totally within your reach. And yeah, you're not experiencing any extra like re-triggering or re-traumatizing with each other. So we have confidence is your key to success, and it's time to release negativity. So this full moon in Scorpio energy is very similar to this Pluto energy. It's a time to release old patterns, release anything negative, anything weighing you down, and yeah, like start new cycles, which it seems like your person really wants. And I think something that's important for both of you is being confident in your own abilities to like do the work and end up where you want to end up, like being confident in yourself. And your person's definitely like got a little ways to go with that energy in terms of like gaining confidence in themselves. But yeah, if there's things that you're dealing with, which it's very likely that you are, if this person is dealing with this sort of stuff, even though they see you as like very healed, yeah, there's probably stuff coming up for you as well. So it's important that you are confident in your ability to go through what you're going through now, especially this weird time with this person. Be confident in your ability to like endure it and to like trust that you can do what's best for you, and kind of no matter what happens, you'll take care of yourself. But your final affirmation, pile 3, is I allow transformation, I flow with each phase. I think this is an important phase that's going to require a lot of allowing and surrender. So yeah, just embracing it as much as you can. And yeah, I think I'm going to leave that there, pile 3. I think that's enough to take away. But it's been a pleasure reading for you. My name's Jade Wilding, and if you would like to like, comment and subscribe, I would really appreciate that, because it'll help me stay on your feed and other feeds who might need to see these messages. But until I see you again, ciao.